Good morning, you're watching ABC News GH. This is ABC Headlines. I am Abna Mante. Coming up in the headlines, the Electoral Commission has disqualified Joanna Jan Cudjoe, the National Democratic Congress's candidate for the Amenfi Central constituency, from participating in the 2024 parliamentary elections. Still to come in the headlines, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has announced that Ghana will soon launch its first ever streaming platform dedicated to promoting local creative content. We have these and more in the headlines. Stay with us. The Electoral Commission of Ghana has disqualified Joanna Jan Cudjoe, the National Democratic Congress candidate for the Amenfi Central constituency, from participating in the 2024 parliamentary elections. This decision follows an order of interlocutory injunction issued by the High Court in Sekondi on May 31, 2024, in the case of Jedu Frimpong versus 4 others versus Joanna Jan Cudjoe, the NDC, and the Electoral Commission. The court order restrains Joanna Jan Cudjoe from holding herself out as the duly elected NDC parliamentary candidate for Amenfi Central until the final determination of the matter. Additionally, the NDC and the Electoral Commission are prohibited from recognizing or affording her any rights or privileges as the candidate. In a letter dated October 10, 2024, Deputy Chairman of Operations Samuel Tete informed Jan Cudjoe of her disqualification, stating that the Commission is bound by the court order, which has neither been stayed or vacated. Vice President and flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has announced that Ghana will soon launch its first ever streaming platform dedicated to promoting local creative content. In an interaction with creative arts industry players, Dr. Bawumia emphasized the need to leverage technology to boost the creative economy.
Externally owned, and so when we put our music on those platforms, it's not surprising that the returns in terms of the payments that are made to our musicians are very little. PayPal, for example, we don't have access to PayPal, and many content creators, I've heard, have even got monies locked up in PayPal. And when you use PayPal, your money actually sits outside Ghana. It doesn't sit inside Ghana. And so since around 20 for music, so all the streaming platforms like Spotify and so on are all externally owned. And so when we put our music on those platforms, it's not surprising that the returns in terms of the payments that are made to our musicians are very little. Very little, and they are not much to write home about in general. And so the issue for us of making sure we have a streaming platform locally for music and put in all the catalogs from A to Z that we can find in Ghana on the platforms. That has been something that it has needed to be done for a long time. And so we've been working on this issue. Musica, GAMRO, the music producers, and the private sector, the IT sector. We've been trying to, over the last couple of years, see about putting together a music streaming platform, digital platform for Ghanaian content developers in the creative arts, as I said, to facilitate the tracking, collection, and distribution of royalties in the first place, and also to enable creativeness and assess and manage revenue, and also to help
We apologize for the earlier mix-up in the video we played for you. Meanwhile, the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has stated that a new platform for receiving payments for the creative industry is being put together by the Bank of Ghana and other stakeholders. Addressing concerns by some creatives who attended the engagement, he noted that the government's efforts to get Ghana unblacklisted on PayPal has proven futile. Hence, the government is developing a new platform for Ghanaian creatives that will be launched soon.
For example, we don't have access to PayPal. And many content creators, I've heard, have even got monies locked up in PayPal. And when you use PayPal, your money actually sits outside Ghana. It doesn't sit inside Ghana. And so since around 2017, 2018, I've been engaging with PayPal at the very highest levels to say, look, Ghana, we're doing so many things, but we seem to be blacklisted. They've blacklisted us in that sense. But, you know, I was teasing. I said, how can you have Nigeria have PayPal and we don't have PayPal? And so we had a good laugh over it and all of it. But in all seriousness, we've been trying to get Ghana to have, you know, that blacklisting taken off, and we've not been able to be successful. We've gone far, but not quite there. And so one of the things that we started working with the Bank of Ghana and GIBS to look for alternatives, so that, because once you are producing and, you know, content, music, and so on, you're getting paid and so on, it's very, very important, and how you do it. So we are coming up with an alternative of sorts where we have got an agreement to do cards which are co-badged. So MasterCard, Union Pay, and Discover have all agreed. So we.
Away from elections, Sana Nasogli Power Limited has announced the shutdown of its 560 megawatts power plant due to the Electricity Company of Ghana's failure to meet overdue payment obligations. This has left Sana Nasogli unable to continue funding its operations. In a statement released on October 16, 2024, the company disclosed that ECG owes a net receivable of $259 million, excluding fuel, as of the end of September 2024. Despite Sana Nasogli's decision not to invoice ECG for idle capacity, the debt owed has increased by 23% between January and September 2024, with only 22.6% of the invoices for that period settled through the cash waterfall mechanism. The company expressed deep regret over the impact of the shutdown on the national power supply, but emphasized that it had no alternative. The company further called on the Ministry of Finance to intervene and facilitate a resolution that will allow it to resume operations as soon as possible. The Accra High Court has granted bail to Salifu Amoako and Muha Amoako, the parents of Elrad Amoako, whose actions led to a crash that resulted in the death of 2 individuals in East Legon, Greater Accra region. The couple, arrested on Tuesday, October 15, were charged with permitting an unlicensed person to drive. Additionally, a third accused, Linda Bempa, a sales assistant at Lilo Stitches, was also granted bail. During the court proceedings on Wednesday, October 16, the prosecution outlined that the parents admitted to allowing their son Elrad to drive their vehicle to the gym and other locations. The defense lawyers for the accused requested bail, emphasizing their client's stable living situations, gainful employment, and their strong ties to the community. They argued that the accused posed no risk of reoffending or interfering with ongoing investigations, suggesting that their intentions were not to commit another offense while on bail. While the prosecution did not oppose the bail application, it did call for stringent bail conditions, highlighting the seriousness of the charges. The judge ultimately considered the arguments from both sides and set bail at 50,000 Ghana cedis for each of the accused. And that's all for the headlines this morning. ABC in the Morning comes up shortly. Stay with us.